Good morning. In the other 3A action, it was North Lincoln over Freedom, 66-52. North Lincoln will travel to Ben L. Smith High School up in Greensboro tomorrow night. East Lincoln fell to Inca last night to bring their season to an end, 73-69. And it was Franklin over St. Stephen's, 57-45. So the teams we've got left here in the area, North Lincoln boys are still alive. Third-round action, they travel to Ben L. Smith tomorrow night. It is Lincoln Charter boys. They will host Monroe tomorrow night. In the girls' ranks, Lake Norman will travel to Watauga tomorrow night. East Lincoln girls will travel to North Davidson tomorrow night. Newton will host North Surrey tomorrow night in the 2A, and Lincoln Charter girls will host Randleman tomorrow night. Andy Royals from High Point says North Davidson has a 2,200-point career score. She had 44 in her first-round playoff game. Wow, that's pretty impressive right there. And that's who East Lincoln will be at. They'll be at North Davidson. If I'm not mistaken, that's where my good friend Perry Tuttle played, I believe. Bob said the Hickory game and North Idle game was a classic hard fight. Good luck to North Idle going forward. That's a conference matchup, but at least it was second round. That was a conference matchup, North Idle and Hickory. Bob, I'm assuming Hickory swept North Idle in the regular season. You can probably give me a few details about that. I don't have that information in front of me, but those guys are moving on. North Idle is, and I'm sure that was a pretty hard struggled game from last night. Let me check ESPN and see what kind of headlines we may have there. According to a source, this was something in the NFL that he's kind of been working on a year-to-year contract, was Eric Bieniemy. But according to a source, he'll be returning to the Chiefs as the offensive coordinator for the 2022 season. The news was first reported by the NFL Network, which also reported he'll be returning on a one-year contract. His contract expired after last season. He and head coach Andy Reid recently met to discuss his future. Bieniemy also worked on an expiring contract in 2020. He had considered coaching in college, listening to other offers, even taking a year off of the physically and mentally draining season in which the Chiefs fell one game short of the Super Bowl. Bieniemy was again bypassed by the head coaching cycle. The Chiefs still have to fill their quarterback coach job after Mike Kafke left to become the New York Giants offensive coordinator. Bieniemy has been on the staff since 2013, spent the past 4 seasons as the offensive coordinator, and that's as long as they've had Patrick Mahomes. I guess, out of those 4 years, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but out of those 4 years, they've had 2 Super Bowl appearances. They won one, they lost one, and then they lost in the AFC Championship game on one of those or both of those. I don't remember. Bob said that Hickory did sweep North Idle, but they were very close games. Hard to beat the same team over and over. Some people say that the statistics don't say that, but I just can't imagine. It's not pretty tough. Here's a note of a passing. Ken Burra, former Houston Oilers receiver, who was the last NFL player to wear 00. Passed away yesterday. He was 73. He passed away in his home in Jacksonville, Florida. He was the 10th overall pick in 1970, but played just one season for the Saints before being traded to the Oilers. Spent the next 11 seasons in Houston, selected to the Pro Bowl in 75 and 76. He led the NFL in receiving in 1975 with a career-high 1,063 yards. He piled up 6,906 yards receiving and 47 touchdowns with the Oilers, helping lead them to their Love You Blue period when they twice reached the AFC Championship game. Of course, the Oilers are now the Titans, which I like that better. I don't want you to be able to take your name. You got to change names. If you move to franchise, you got to leave your name. Butch said many of those teams will ask permission to play around 3 or 4 tomorrow because of travel distances. Thank you, Butch. You can't start making these arrangements when you play every other day till they finish the night before. So I'm not exactly sure what we will run into. In East Lincoln, I would think that East Lincoln would start a little earlier because they've got to do a doubleheader. If I read my rankings right, I think they both host, the girls and the boys. No, I'm sorry, East Lincoln girls travel to North Davidson, so there won't be a doubleheader there. Lincoln Charter will have a doubleheader as both teams are hosting tomorrow night. Let's see what else we got in headlines. Kind of quiet, not a whole lot of things going on that I can see. Don't see a whole lot of anything there. Let's look at the men's side. I was trying to compose all these high school numbers here earlier this morning. I guess one of the biggest things, Duke is they're on this farewell tour for Coach K, and we'll see how that goes. Selection Sunday's just a few weeks away. We'll see how that goes. One of the things that I did see here was where did I see it? Marshall. Marshall Thundering Herd granted restraining order in the Conference USA arbitration bid. Now, what's going on there is Marshall was granted a temporary restraining order Thursday against Conference USA after the league filed a request for arbitration in the school's bid to expedite an early move to the Sun Belt. The order came down that prohibits Conference USA from proceeding with arbitration. Set for a hearing on March 16th, Marshall, Old Dominion, Southern Miss accepted invitations to the Sun Belt during the fall. Each announced earlier this month they plan to terminate memberships in Conference USA on June 30th to join their new conference. Conference USA has said the 3 schools are contractually obligated to stay put for another year. Well, I think you have seen when you talk about contracts, especially in college, when it comes to coaches, they're just a piece of paper. If you're not going to enforce it for everybody, why can you enforce it on the school? It goes back to those precedent-setting type things. Marshall sued Conference USA earlier this week, claiming, among other things, that as an arm of the state, it was entitled to sovereign immunity under the state and federal constitution. How about that? Marshall faces immediate and irreparable injury and is likely to succeed on the merits. And that's where, you got to be able to control your future to some extent. I don't understand why they have the long-term contracts. People don't know. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You need to be able to make the best decision for your university, for your kids. But it's funny, I think I explained this earlier. When Charlotte came up with college football, and they wanted to make the move after, I think it was just 1 year of being in the FCS up to the bowl division, they got a bid to go to Conference USA. Appalachian went Sun Belt because Charlotte kind of owns, even though they didn't have a product, didn't have a proven product, they're in the Charlotte market as well as Boone is, TV market. And they went with Charlotte because of the TV market ratings. Now the Sun Belt appears to be gaining steam and becoming a more prominent conference than what Conference USA was. When you talk about these Group 5 conferences, they're going to go wherever they can get the best deal for them and their kids. Now, see, the other thing that happened is the league last week released the football schedule for that 2022 season that included 14 teams, including Marshall, Southern Miss, and Old Dominion. 6 other Conference USA schools have announced they're leaving for the American Athletic Conference, but not until 2023. Conference USA plans to add Liberty, New Mexico State, Jacksonville State, and Sam Houston State to rebuild the conference, but they're not supposed to come in until 2023. New Mexico State used to be in the Sun Belt, as well as the Vandals of Idaho, and that wasn't good either. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's just going to cost somebody some money is basically what's going to happen, because that's what happens when different factions start fighting over what they can do and what they can't do. Let me take a quick break, and when I come back, I'll give you some on this day, see if there's other headlines before I have to wrap it up here early on a Friday morning. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Member today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. And welcome back. Glad to have you here on a Friday morning. A couple more things we'll hit, and I'll pop out of here. On the college football side, if we got a state person out there, please explain this to me, because I don't understand. Andy Royal said Brian Haig from Ledford, all-time leading scorer in Davidson County with 2203 points. His daughter Emily is the one that had the 44 the other night and passed Dad, but she will finish second all-time girls scorer in Davidson County due to her missing some 16 games due to COVID. Wow, that's a shame. NC State has done a contract extension through 2026 for Dave Doran. The new deal will pay him $5 million annually, up from $3.5 million. All 10 assistants got new contracts. Here's what Boo Kerrigan said. Dave continues to provide tremendous leadership for NC State football and elevate the standards for our program. We continue to see our competitive growth, academic growth, and there's a great continuity among our entire staff. We're excited for even greater days ahead. He's set to enter his 10th season as the NC State as the second winningest coach in school history. The Wolfpack have won at least 8 games 4 times in the past 5 seasons. He's the only coach in school history to post 3 9-win seasons. Coach Doran said, NC State is home for my entire family. I'm so grateful to the Chancellor and Boo Kerrigan for their support and commitment to Wolfpack football. We continue to build something special in Raleigh, and I'm so excited about the future. Here's my question. I'm glad Ford's not here because his head would snap off from his blood pressure going off. 10 years, haven't sniffed a championship, come close to a playoff. To me, is that saying that NC State is completely content with having consistent 8-game winning seasons and occasionally a 9-game winning season? Am I missing something here? Is NC State saying this is all we can do, this is all we're capable of? Andrew said someone at State finally figured out that you better not ditch what you got unless you have a better option available. I understand that, but I don't know that it's completely about the coach. Maybe it's more, Andrew, about the facilities. Maybe it's about what you want to put into it. Those are the things that matter as well. I just thought that was interesting. I just saw that come down. Grambling State has hired as offensive coordinator Art Browse. 66, out of coaching since May of 2016. Hugh Jackson, former Cleveland Brown coach, was hired as Grambling State's head coach back in December. In 2016, Baylor officials suspended him with intent to terminate for his role after sexual assault allegations were made against students, including former football players. He later reached an undisclosed financial settlement with Baylor, where he had coached from 08 to 15, had a 65-37 record, and winning a share of back-to-back Big 12 titles in 13 and 14. That one's kind of interesting there. See where that goes. Let me give you a couple on this day. I'll spit it out here in just a minute. While I'm still going, teams still in action. North Lincoln boys travel to Ben L. Smith tomorrow night. Lincoln Charter boys will host Monroe. In the 2A girls, Lincoln Charter will host Rendleman. Will travel to Rendleman. Is that right? That says at Rendleman. So we'll leave it that way. Lincoln Charter will only have one game. Newton will host North Surrey as they won last night, and the East Lincoln girls will travel to North Davidson. So I want to make sure I got those in there for you. And then let's see if we got a few things for on this day in sports history. Maybe I need some great music backing that up. All right. Taking a look at your events in sports on this day. Of course, you know, this year's Winter Olympics are over. I didn't watch any. I did not watch any. 1924, Marie Boyd scored 156 points in a Maryland high school basketball game. The final score, 163-3. 163-3. 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain scores 67 against the Knicks for his second consecutive year. The Warriors lose, though, 149-135. 1964, Cassius Clay, who would later become Muhammad Ali, wins his first world heavyweight boxing title when Sonny Liston fails to come out for round 7 in Miami Beach. 1968, the 10th annual Daytona 500 was won by Cale Yarborough. 1972, the lopsided MLB trade when the Cardinals trade pitcher Steve Carlton to the Phillies for pitcher Rick Wise. 1977, Pete Maravich set an NBA record for a guard with 68 points. 1994, Phil Rizzuto. I know him more from commercials on TV than his baseball days with the Yankees. Was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then let's see if we've got some birthdays here on hand as well. Or passing. How about Jersey Joe Walcott? Walcott passed away at the age of 80 back in 1994. Tony Burton, who was an American actor and boxer in the Rocky films, passed away in 2016 at the age of 78. And from the birthday list, I'll give you a couple birthdays celebrity-wise while that's pulling up. How about Sally Jesse Raphael turns 60. Carrot Top turns 57. Rudy. Sean Astin, I get it out in a minute, turns 51. Chelsea Handler turns 47. Tia Leone turns 56. Tomorrow, Michael Bolton turns 69. Sunday, Adam Baldwin turns 60. Chelsea Clinton turns 42. But the big birthday for today, turning 73 years young, woo! Ric Flair is 73 years young today. Bobby Riggs was born on this day in 1918. Tony Lima, the great golfer, was born in Oakland, California in 1934. Billy Packer will be turning, if I got this right, 82 today. He was born in 1940. James Brown, JB, from CBS Sports, was born in Washington, D.C. on this day in 1951. That'd make him 69 if I'm doing the math in my head properly. Kurt Rambis, forward, played for the Lakers and the Hornets in the early years. He will be turning 64 today. The late Davey Allison was born on this day in 1961. Todd Blackledge, you can see his work on commentating in college football. He was born on this day in 1961 as well. Don Machkowski was born this day in 1964. I don't do good with this, guys. I'm struggling with reading names. Donald Hodge, NBA center for the Hornets, was born this day in 1969. Flipping. Nobody's jumping out. I guess the one you need to really remember for today is the great one. I don't know how many time world champion he is, but Ric Flair, birthday turning 73. Andrew said, I did see that several sources have NC State projected top 15 this coming season. Andrew said it seems a little early to him. They always seem to be picked to do pretty well, Andrew, but they don't ever quite deliver on that. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, have a great day. I'll make an announcement later on once we confirm what we're going to do for some basketball coverage on WLON tomorrow night and here on SportsTalkGuys.com. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. A little cool out there this morning. It's supposed to get up to about 70. Weekend's going to be nice, but cooler tomorrow. We're on the roller coaster weather temperature ride for right now. Have a great one. See you guys.